People of the internet, welcome back to another video. It is I, Don Thomas, back in here with another one. As always, folks, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's topic, folks. I got a video pulled up here. Comes from a channel over on YouTube called Top Music Attorney, in which they titled the video, Spotify Exposed, the AI Band Scam. Folks, I wanted to speak on this before as well, too. Of course, somebody as myself who's, tapped into the scene of just like music. Of course, I'm a fan of music. I listen to music damn near every day. And I've been seeing some things that are happening within the industry that are a bit alarming, folks, in terms of just this whole AI thing. Just AI as a whole. Just watching it come for different industries, whatever the case is. This one in particular, of course, we've been speaking about how AI has been coming from the workforce. It's been coming from blue-collar jobs, white-collar jobs. Become for creatives. This video in particular is speaking about something that I've been witnessing on the low, that I'm seeing is picking up some steam, picking up some traction, and it's a little bit scary if you ask me, in terms of AI in the music industry. AI artists, AI bands, this, that, and the other. I want to watch this clip, of course. Looks like Spotify has been caught in the act. Of course, I want to watch this video, get a little bit more insight. I'll share my thoughts down in the comment section below. I encourage you to do the same. Let's get into it.
1 million monthly listeners, 600,000 monthly listeners. Is Spotify actually behind all of this? I think playlist manipulation. I noticed the fact that Timbaland was following this band to steal not just their music, but their name, likeness, and I go, why are they allowing it? I don't think it's an overstatement that the streaming ecosystem is changing overnight. Just in the last week, the number of AI bands that have been popping up, at least according to Music Business Worldwide, was something like 13, 14 that they identified. And they go about 4 million streams are attributable to these AI artists or AI bands. Now, here's the thing. I'm not seeing a lot of people talking about what I am the most worried about in this situation, because obviously AI music, AI artists, this is a thing. This is not the first time we're finding out about this. And this week I covered The Velvet Sundown. At the time, they had maybe 500,000 streams. But I just go, look, my biggest concern here is I go to the bio for this band, and the bio very clearly makes it seem like these are humans making human-made music and how they are representing themselves to the world. And I go, this is the first jump-off point that I'm going from on just being like, I'm kind of concerned because there are consumer fraud issues that come up. But this is not where the analysis ends. Funny enough, I actually went to the Instagram for this band, and I saw that Timbaland is following. And I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but as I'm kind of going down the rabbit hole, I go, people are upset because they go, there seems to be bad actors right now that are deceiving, that are arguably stealing. And my question is, well, who are they? So in the realm of who are the bad actors, are we talking about people who have made AI music, or is Spotify actually behind all of this? Context. Spotify is a digital service provider, and we know that it is paying out tens of billions of dollars of royalties. So in this, we go, well, with this bundling situation that came up, so now people's music is being bundled with audiobooks, which means human-made authors are getting paid less. There's this dilution issue. And so I go, wouldn't it be advantageous for Spotify to have to pay out less? And would it be paying out less if we're talking about AI artists? So let me start by talking about Deezer. If you guys remember, Deezer is now trying to be like the watchdog for AI music. And so it's very like, we're going to call you out, we'll tag you if your stuff is AI generated. We also are not going to pay you royalties if your stuff is AI generated. So we really want to protect human-made music. And so I go, we've all been real curious about whether Spotify was going to do something similar. And so me, being the lawyer here, looking at the terms of service for Spotify, this is potentially the biggest exposure for Spotify and what's really happening here. Because with all of these AI artists and bands going viral, and we'll talk about a couple of them, having a casual 1 million monthly listeners, that's interesting. Spotify's not managing this. Spotify is not deleting these profiles. And in fact, what these AI band creators are doing is a violation of the Spotify's own terms of use. So look, we're going to go and do the deep dive. If this is something that you dig, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. So in the realm of Spotify.
Pause it right there real quick, folks. So there you heard it. This, a bit of the context, of course. Long story short, we've been seeing an uprise in AI artists, AI bands creating music that people are allegedly listening to. I don't even know if that's what the case is, but these industries, the music industry is shifting. We've been saying that for the longest time. The music industry is shifting. We are seeing the advent of AI artists putting out music. We've even been seeing AI softwares that are putting out music to the likes of some of the very, big name artists that we already know to this day. I think we've all, at this point, have maybe come across an AI song from one of our favorite artists, maybe, that was not indeed done by that actual artist, right? So I've actually been seeing other artists, of course, Playboy Cardi, a few other people who have admitted to be using AI of themselves within their songs. for whatever reason. So AI has implemented itself within the music industry. We know that 100%. Where it gets a little bit tricky, and again, this is the whole concept of this whole video, with Spotify specifically. Of course, you guys know Spotify is one of the biggest music distributing platforms, of course, along with Apple Music, this, that, and the other, whatever the case is. It's now being exposed or brought to the forefront, and I guess this video kind of dives into that a little bit more, that Spotify is maybe harboring or creating a space for AI artists to thrive on their platform, which at one point went against their TOS, terms of service, right? Of course, you saw these AI bands garnering how many monthly users? This is an AI group, verified artists on Spotify, averaging over 1 million monthly listeners. First and foremost, let me just say this. If there's anybody, if you are choosing to listen to an AI robot artist over a real actual human, I'm looking at you a little bit funny. Now, somebody would say, oh, nah, music is music. I like what I like. If it sounds good, I'll listen to it. And yeah, you could argue that. You could say that. But it's just like, don't you feel a little bit weird to be rocking to a song and know that that song is not created by an actual human, that it was a prompt, an algorithm? I feel like the whole sense of artistry, music artistry, let's talk about this because this has kind of been annoying me for some time as well too. Of course, I wanted to do another video not too long ago when news broke about Timbaland. Of course, famous producer Timbaland has come out and say he's coming out with a AI music label. What are the cases where he's signing AI artists? And this is one of the most legendary artists, producers, I guess you could say, of our generation. So it's a little bit distasteful for me personally to see that some of these people who you would think would be putting a stand against this buffoonery, if you ask me, are actually welcoming it with open arms. Spotify now seems to be a platform outside of other artists that's welcoming this AI band, AI music with open arms. And to me, folks, it just seems like greed. Because again, if you heard in that beginning of the video as well too, these labels, these platforms don't have to pay out royalties to these artists. Maybe hell, if these platforms are maybe recouping money, we could even argue about that as well too. I can maybe see why they're alluding to this as well, or why they would want to go in this route. A label or a distributing platform. Maybe they've signed an artist for X million amount of dollars, whatever the case is, and that artist is yet to maybe recoup their funds. So maybe these platforms are now creating music, creating AI artists where, low overhead, low cost, whatever the case is, come up with these songs for free, whatever the case is, or whatever means they're using to generate the actual music, and then just recoup everything. Push these artists, of course, because, of course, I think they were saying this band went viral. A few of these bands went viral, which is crazy to me. Of course, you saw they were talking about how Timbaland actually already follows one of these accounts already. Whatever the case is, he's one of them. Timbaland has exposed himself as being one of these guys. The Velvet Sundown, of course, again, damn near 500,000 monthly listeners. These are all AI bands. So it's just like, it's like the system feeding itself. I'm sure like Spotify is probably the ones, or maybe the generators of these people as well too, that are pushing these artists as well too. It just baffles me that of all the thousands and thousands of created, talented artists that we know out there, whether they're known or unknown, the ones that we kind of sort of know, the ones that we don't know at all, the ones who are, already in the industry, it's not like there's a shortage of artists. So if we're trying to bypass the actual human artists that are making the music for AI artists, isn't it just greed? Like, what else is it besides greed? If besides greed and a lack of compassion for the art and the actual artists, the emotion that comes with every word that's written from some of these artists, right? Depending on the artist, or the case, depending on the genre, but like the creativity, we're just throwing all of that out the window for sake of what? Money? Revenue? It baffles me, bro. Like, it really does baffle me, and it's a little bit. It just speaks to the greed that I usually speak out and call out on these corporations, whatever the case is. It looks like any industry. It's all about $1 for these people. Now, again, on the flip side, some could argue and say, oh, nah, they're only doing this because they're losing too much money signing these artists. They're signing these large contracts to artists for millions of dollars, and these artists are not recouping that bread. Because, of course, by now we should all know that anytime an artist gets signed to an actual label, it's more so a loan, right? They're expecting that the artist, through touring, through music sales, through merchandise, is going to be able to recoup the money that they gave to the artist within that deal over X amount of years, whatever the case is. A lot of the times, maybe most of these artists are not recouping the money that's been loaned to them when they sign. So I can see how, from a greed standpoint and a corporate standpoint and a business standpoint, how a music label or a music distributing platform such as Spotify would say, you know what, I'm done with humans. Let's just deal with AI artists. We can generate the music. We don't have to pay for studio time. We don't got to pay for touring. We don't got to pay for this, that, and the other. We could create a band online using AI, create the songs with AI, create the images with AI, rack up, push them, promote them to be able to get, because I don't, and to be honest, I don't know who the hell is listening to this. Like half a million monthly listeners of an AI band. Again, if you're listening to AI artists over real artists, I'm looking at you a little bit funny. I'm questioning your mental wherewithal. I am. I'm judging you a little bit. If you're sitting here telling me about, out of all the thousands and thousands of talented creative artists out there, you're listening to AI artists. And the part that was a little bit scary that got me as well too, which this lady was speaking about in the earlier half, somewhere in here, she was talking about how if you go to the credits, even down to the credits, they're writing like actual real names of these artists. Yeah, the band was formed by singer and Mellotron player Gabe Furrow, guitarist, this, that, and the other. Like, all these are AI people. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, but of course it's going to be ran by somebody. So who's behind the scenes of this AI group? It could be your favorite producer. It could be some Joe Schmo in a basement. It could be, you see what I'm saying? It could be the label themselves. That's the part that's a little bit like weird to me. So are we saying that let's just do away with all human talent, all human emotions? We spoke about this, of course, in another video as well too, when we're talking about just the robots coming for warehouse jobs at Amazon. And of course, working smarter as opposed to harder, whatever the case is. I get that. But this one kind of strikes home a little bit more, being a creative myself, being somebody who is a fan of music and has dabbled in music myself personally. I just see it as greed. Whether it be these music labels that are on board, whether it be the distribution platforms like Apple and Spotify, Tidal, whatever the case is, if they're on board, it's distasteful. And even these human producers, Timbaland and who else, all these other artists that I'm seeing are in favor of AI music. Like, have you lost your way? Is it all about money now? Like, and they'll rebuttal and say, oh, nah, I favor going with AI artists because the AI artist doesn't talk back. I've seen them say that. I think it was Timbaland that said that, or what was it, Ray Daniels or Lee Daniels, whatever his name is. Oh, well, the AI artist isn't going to talk back. The AI artist is going to listen to what are we saying? That you're willing to bypass morality and ethics and just like creativity for the sake of no pushback from an AI artist and a dollar? Is that what it's come down to? I don't know, man. This world is backwards, bro. And again, I'm saying that this is just 2025. What is this going to look like by 2030? You see what I'm saying? Like, the direction that we're going forward with all of this, with this AI as a whole, it's not looking too good. We're going in a world where to still be a human is going to be like, you'll be a unicorn. To still be a human in an AI robot world, we're going to wipe ourselves out to extinction. It might sound like dystopian. It might sound like whatever, but is that a reach? Is it a reach to say that we're maybe in the early ages of our own extinction to AI? Is that a reach? Is that far-fetched? Is that too much of a thing when AI is basically doing everything that humans could do? Like, there'll still be humans. I'm not saying complete extinction yet. Maybe not of course, not in our lifetime. But if we continue at this rate, is basically what I'm saying. If this was like a chart, right, and we're just watching the advancement of AI, it's kind of safe to assume that over X amount of years, as the AI gets smarter and smarter and more human and more realistic, you're just going to see a decline in actual human need and efficiency. Whereas, again, the actual humans will just end up being just maintenance men for these workers. This maintenance of the AI. Make sure the algorithm's running, prompt writers. We'll all just be prompt writers. Put in a prompt, put it in the AI, let it spit it out, and go about your day. I don't know, man. The future is robot. The future is AI. The future is not human. This is a rather longer video. I kind of wanted to dive in a little bit more, but I just wanted to give the context. Of course, a lot of these videos, sometimes I just want to give the overall context to kind of get the gears going, start a conversation down in the comment section below, man. This is just my stance on it. I'm never going to condone AI artists. Slap me, you see me bump into an AI artist. I think we've already seen how where you stand a better chance like AI for artists that we already know, and even that I feel like is a little bit shady as well too. But again, we all already heard, what is it, the viral AI Drake song and the AI Kanye song, AI Weeknd song. Like, we've heard AI generated music from some of our favorite artists. We're not talking about that here. We're talking about AI songs from complete strangers, nobodies, nothings, avatars, coming up with music and getting damn near 1 million listeners per month. I'm looking at you funny if you are bumping. If I ask you, what you listening to, and you tell me it's a new AI band is what you're listening to, I'm looking at you a little bit funny. I'm questioning your sanity. If you tell me that you just consciously chose to bypass all the talented artists from around the world who would die for such an opportunity to have a platform, you bypassed all of that to listen to an AI artist that you don't know their backstory, you don't know their come up, all the things that that makes us fans of an artist, their backstory, the things that they maybe gone through that we resonate with. That's what comes with artistry. Those are the things that come with artistry. That's why we become fans of some of our favorite artists, because maybe sometimes we see a little bit of ourselves in them. I don't see myself in any of these AI artists. I will never. You see what I'm saying? The emotions, the thought process. When you ask an artist, yo, what made you write that? Or, man, you wrote that and it resonated with my soul. Like, you're not going to be able to say that comfortably with an AI artist. AI bands. The reason why we do these meet and greets, or why artists have meet and greets and want to meet their fans and collab, is because to some degree we maybe resonate with a lot of the things that the artist has said and done within their music and their artistry. All of that goes out the window if we continue to condone this AI bullshit, if you ask me. Those are just my thoughts, folks. Of course, I want to hear yours down in the comment section below. What's your take, folks? Are you on board with AI artists? You think it's a little bit shady that the industry is maybe creating a space more so for monetary value, in my personal opinion, as opposed to using those same resources to back actual human artists? I feel a way about the whole thing. Of course, this kind of hits home a lot for me as well too, being that I love music, been an artist myself for a little while, and I'd be damned, right, if I'm sitting up in my room putting my blood, sweat, and tears into a song, knowing that a label is more likely to push an AI artist than the actual human. I would feel away. Those are my thoughts. Of course, I want to hear yours down in the comment section below. As always, the likes, the comments, and subscribes are all greatly appreciated. I will catch you guys on the next one.